United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next thing is approved agenda.
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the agenda.
I have a recommendation to approve the agenda. I need a motion.
I need a motion to approve the
Okay. All right. Do I have a second? Any questions or comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it, motion passed. Superintendent's report.
Madam President, I have a few items in our superintendent's report this evening. First of all, I'd like to ask our district athletic director, Coach Anthony Jenkins, to come forward. We have 3 employees that we would like to recognize this evening.
Thank you, Mr. We have 3 outstanding individuals that we want to recognize this afternoon. Starting with Olive Branch High School, Ms. Vicki Sullivan. Vicki was selected as the 2017 Drill Spirit Coach of the Year by the Mississippi High School Activities Association. She has been the sponsor for 19 years at Olive Branch High School. During that time, her teams have won numerous state championships in pom and hip hop, plus an amazing 3 national championships in small varsity hip hop. Let's congratulate Ms. Vicki Sullivan. Our next individual is from Hernando High School, Mr. Lynn Kilo. The National Federation of High Schools Committee selected Mr. Kilo as the 2017-18 Outstanding Music Educator for Section 3. Mr. Kilo has been the head band director at Hernando for the past 6 years. His 2014 and 15 band won the state championships at Hernando High School. I know this, he is a very detailed, compassionate, and takes great pride in the product that he puts on display. Let's congratulate Mr. Kilo. Our last individual that we'd like to recognize is Coach Keith Dudley. Coach Dudley just completed his first year as the head track and field coach at South Haven High School. He has been selected as a finalist for the National High School Athletic Coaches Association Field Track and Field Coach of the Year Award. Coach Dudley was very successful at J.C. George High School before coming to DeSoto County. He won an amazing 18 state championships while at J.C. George. I know this, he's big on kids working hard and holding them accountable for what they do. Congratulations, Coach.
Congratulations. We appreciate that. You look great work. Thank y'all for coming in. And for Coach, before you sit down, we've got a special recognition. I know Coach Jenkins may not want us to do this, but I'm going to ask Mr. Williams to point something out to you.
I want you all to know he's threatened me prior to coming in here, so I won't be very long. But I'm honored today to announce and recognize Coach Anthony Jenkins as one of 8 national finalists for National Coach of the Year. This is a national award, and so each state sends a candidate in, and they narrow down to the final 8. And the final 8 will be in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Wednesday the 27th, and they will name the winner of that award. The award comes from the National High School Athletic Coaches Association, and it's given yearly. I think it speaks to his character and work ethic that he's been nominated and he's made it this far in that process. So, Coach, we say thank you, congratulations.
White House. Appreciate it. You did all right?
All 4 of those are great accomplishments. To have 2 people nominated for national awards, Coach Jenkins nominated for National Athletic Director, and Coach Dudley, those are awesome awards. So we're very proud of all 4 of the employees that were just recognized. We have 2 other items in the superintendent's report. First of all, I'd like Mr. Jonathan Hodges to come forward, who will give us our quarterly energy report.
Good afternoon. Years have been hating me today. Let's see if we can make this work. All right, this is based on the first quarter of 2018 of this year, January, February, March. I don't quite have all the numbers for the second quarter, so this is just the first quarter. I want to start off by obviously showing the pie graph of where our dollars are going. You can see the majority of it goes into heating and air, and then there's some water, heating, and lighting. Some of the things that we're doing in these areas, whenever we have effective hot water heaters in the schools, we're actually taking out 250-gallon hot water heaters, and some of the schools have 2 of these, and we're replacing them with 100-gallon hot water heaters, and we're doing the same job. We're also taking out, which you'll see some more about that in a minute, that we're doing some upgrades at Horn Lake Middle, Horn Lake High School, OBI, and replacing HVAC equipment. We're updating it, making it more efficient, so hopefully we should see a lot of dollars saved there. This is the energy spent this first quarter, would be which is $1,362,854. That's for the first quarter. And you can see it compared to 2017, 2016, and then 2015. 2015 is included in there because it's pretty important. Everybody knows we had a fairly cold winter. And so we spent $245,000 and some change more than we did in 2017. But you got to look at the major factor, and that's weather. It was 7 degrees on average colder this quarter than it was last year. 12 degrees colder in the month of January. And that's a lot. Every degree is thousands of dollars to keep our buildings warm or cold. So it's a lot of money, and that's where it goes. But if you compare it to 2015, which actually had comparable temperatures, we actually spent $94,161 less. So we did save money when you take into weather and everything into effect. We did a good job. It just doesn't compare to last year. On average, we're 30 cents per square foot. In 2015, we're 33 cents per square foot. In 2014, it was similar temperature, it was 32 cents per square foot. So we're in the right direction. The national average is 40 cents per square foot, so we're still well below that. So that's good, and hopefully we'll keep going the way we need to. These are just break down the numbers as far as elementary, primary, and intermediate schools. I know it's a lot of information process. This is the dollars spent, but our real information is here, and that is the money spent per square foot. With this information, we take this and we can look at the dollars spent per square foot, and we can actually see where our problem child are. We can see what the problem is. We can drill down into the school and see what's different at that particular school that we can compare to similar schools. So Desoto Central Middle and And like Former Middle, what's the difference there and why are they spending less, and we can actually look into it and see what's going on. Because this doesn't matter how large it is compared to by square foot, so that's important. So with this information, like I said, we should drill down into it and try to figure out, see what's going on. Some of it we know what's going on. Tornado High School, we're doing an HVAC retrofit now. That's gonna change a lot of these numbers, this coming year, when it's complete. And then Career Tech West, you can't look at this as the same thing. It's an industrial building that we're using to teach a lot of important classes. And so what we do with that, anytime welding or woodwork or the exhaust fans and automotive come on, we need to have fresh air. We need to exhaust the bad stuff and bring in fresh air. So by doing that, we bring in all this cold outside air in these 3 months, and then we condition it and make it to the temperature we want, so we're not just bringing in freezing cold air into people who are in classroom. So in order to do that, it requires a lot of energy in order to do that. So that's why that's a little different from everybody else. But like I said, overall, we're doing great. And we're going to keep looking at it and keep adjusting, keep tweaking things, and keep upgrading and see what else we can get out of it.
Mr. Hodges, I want to compliment you and Mr. White, Mr. Hall, who are in attendance for all of their hard work and being very diligent in monitoring our energy costs. I commend our board again for the teacher pay raise, and one of the reasons why our board is able to do that is because of systems that y'all have in place there, where we're able to save money in areas that overhead that, you know, we have to spend it on energy. But at the same time, the less money we can spend there, the more money that can be spent in the classroom. And so you and your, Mr. White, you and your team, I mean, y'all are helping us out tremendously and getting more money back to the classroom. We appreciate it. Thank you all. This time, I will ask our Director of Plant Maintenance, Mr. Jerry White, to come forward. He will be giving us a construction update. I saw a sneak preview of this. This is going to be good if you haven't seen it.
Well, if the computer doesn't crash on us again, it crashed on us earlier while we were going through a trial session here, so we're keeping our fingers crossed. But I brought a piece of paper just in case it did, we'll just have to talk at that point in time. Thank you, Mr. Austin, and good afternoon to everyone. We started out talking about South Haven Elementary School. South Haven Elementary School is our window project for this year, and as we all know, we've never got a window project done on time, I don't think, so we're keeping our fingers crossed on this. The windows are supposed to get in on the 22nd, which is tomorrow, actually. We've received the receptors already for the windows, and we're not letting them take them out to see the windows on the spot, because we don't want boards up on the windows, so we're keeping a close eye on it. Murphy & Sons is running this project, and they have promised us 5 3-man crews starting on the 25th, which is next month. And if they come through with what they're saying, I'm sure they will. We're hopefully we'll get through most of it, by the time school starts. We might like them to paint a coffin or something like that to finish up work, but we're optimistic that we can still get it done. This is just kind of a view of some of the new windows that has come in here. This is what you call the storefront windows. We actually have not received classroom windows yet. Those windows look really, really good compared to what we had. I'm sure there's a little bit more here. And we move on to Horn Lake Middle School next. We're doing a retrofit down there. 26 classrooms and the gym, where we're changing all the HVAC out. This is a pretty good sized project. This is phase 2 of this project, where we, come in last year and did a little over half the school, and we'll be finishing it up, this year. We've got a good crew in place down there. All of the cassettes and the BS boxes have been hung in the downstairs hallways, cafeterias, and eating desks. All have a part of it also under them at this point in time. So I think they actually may be just a little bit ahead of the game, and it's just a different site, which makes us happy. You can see here, this is BS boxes up in the attic there. this is kind of the brain of the system. I think there's 3 different boards in that, BS box there that makes them, tell some units what needs to be happening. You can also see where we've torn out the ceilings, do the work, and that type of stuff. We will, that was this fresh air units here. We're moving on now. I think this one is Hernando High School before we're going to here. And this is, fresh air units sitting outside there. You see on the inside, this is the major project here where we've got the ceilings and all torn up and pretty much the whole school. We've got the chiller that's been taken out, and it's being piped now. It's not up and going yet. All the new units have been hung in the hard copper that's been run from BS boxes in the hallway. And what this means is the hard copper on this runs from those BS boxes to the outside condensing units. Then you have the soft copper that runs from the BS boxes to each individual classroom. So they've got the easy part of the copper, I would say, or the short part of it running, and they've got one to the classroom. I say that they're pretty much on schedule here also. The next one is Olive Branch Intermediate School. The renovation here was my most concern easing into this construction year, because we've got to get this done. We can't have school there. So this is a renovation is a real hard thing to do. It's harder than actually building. In fact, you got to tear it up before we start rebuilding it. So this has been a challenge. We've got a real good superintendent in charge of that. He is the one that pulled us out with the South Haven 9th grade building. He is the one that built 3 of Tech for us. So if it can get done, I've got confidence in this fellow that he will get the job done for us. And I think that they're pretty much on schedule where they're going to be now on this project. As you can see, they've already got ceiling bids put in on some of the deal here that they've got. There was one thing that I was going to point out, I don't know if I may have already passed the slide here. No, you can see it here. Did y'all see the concrete beams? And this is the first time I've ever seen this one built. This is architectural a long time ago. I can tell you that in engineering. But that's really, some good stuff to look at. Moving on to Hernando High School parking lot. This is, we're going to gain about, I think it's about 92 parking places over there. We lost, I think it was 12, and put in 100 something. Net gain on it was actually 92 spots. As you can see here, they're well underway in the project. And we were able to actually here to do something that's been needed to do in a long time. You can see they're behind the baseball field house there. It used to be a large gully type deal. It's always been a drainage problem. We were able to take this dirt off this baseball field here and pipe all of that down under there and cover that up. And we, of course, we'll come in and slide it. And that's going to really look good when we get it done. Also there, on this particular project, this has been, we've had a safety issue there, I felt like, for a long time. When they have a baseball game and the bus pulls in there, it's the only way it can get out. It didn't have room to turn around, it had to back out. But what we're doing here is we tying a road into our service road that we built there a couple of years ago. We're fixing a special place up for the baseball bus to park. So they will never have to turn around and they'll never have to back out. So they'll come right in there and go right out. So we've got the drainage fixed and we got the safety issue taken care of. Plus we're going to have 92 extra spots out there. So this is going to be a project for us. We're taking care of. Move on to the Desoto Central High School. This is parking lot overlay. And you can see that this is where the film started messing up on this earlier, and I'm just going to kind of go through it. But you could actually see how large some of the cracks were in this thing, and they really need to do it. They have got this thing milled now all the way down, and we was able to do the service road from Longstreet from the back out of Timbers, which is in awful shape. So this project's going to be completed on time. They got here now, and they're doing a really good job. We're excited about getting it done. Center Hill Middle School classroom addition. We're adding 4 classrooms out there, as you know, and this is a shot of the school before we got started with it. And then we're moving into the to the part where you can kind of see, where the addition is and what's going on there. This is, brick layer and all, which you can see. You see the roof is on it. That's the curbs that's sitting on top of the building that, we're waiting on the HVAC units. And I think actually, the HVAC, probably is gonna be done this week, or should be completed, not sometime next week. Still, it's gonna be, get a bird's eye view all the way around of what it looks like. Construction site. And one thing I noticed when these construction sites, these guys are keeping these sites pretty clean, which that's something we really like. They're cutting down on accidents and stuff like that. Moving on to the substance of primary school, we're also adding 4 rooms to the substance of primary. You can notice here how much larger these 4 classrooms are going to be compared to the ones that you just saw. And the fact that these are kindergarten rooms, and we've got to take they've got to be 1,000 square foot, where the other classrooms got to be 750. So we also have to put bathrooms in these classrooms, so it makes it a little bit larger. I think I ran through it too fast. I'm
No,
gonna
you
see
did.
if I can back this thing up just a tad.
Do that, that's good.
You like that?
Did you do
We
that?
had to make a little fun out of
Did
it
you do that?
while we were working.
No.
Ma'am,
She asked if you did that. You put that curve.
our department did.
There you go.
I watched them do it, so I was a little bit involved.
Are you gonna, by the way, like, you got a little pause, are you going to, our next board meetings, continue to update these?
Yes,
Different
absolutely.
parking lot and all this?
Yes, sir, absolutely. And what we will do, hopefully at the end, of the deal, they show the beginning, on the thing, and then we hopefully on our second board meeting that we can show you a video of all the happy students and teachers inside the classroom, getting ready to learn for next year. So that's our goal. Yes, sir, we're going to keep it out there. Great. All right, Pleasant Hill Elementary, we're also adding 4 classrooms there. They pretty much, the roofers started and electricians there, and they're pretty much on schedule. They've been a little bit behind and playing catch up all year, but they're almost there. Okay, Lewisburg Middle School, we're adding 8 classrooms. I think that's still showing the other one, huh?
Yes.
Okay, this is still. Here we go, Lewisburg. We got 8 classrooms that we're adding at Lewisburg Middle, which you can see on the left side of the screen. We're probably further behind on this particular job than we are on any of them. It's a little bit larger job. And we had to haul in, I think it was like 3 foot, we had to bring the ground up there. And, the wet spring and all that we had, it just took a long time for us to ever get it out of the ground. We've been playing catch up ever since. This one will definitely go down to the wire, but, again, we got confidence that we can done. So that pretty much wraps my deal up. Thank goodness it didn't completely crash on us, so we got to do with it. So everybody's got questions, we think I would, that's right.
You had a great report.
Thank
Tell your staff that they did an excellent job.
I tell you, we've been fortunate enough to finally got some tech savvy people on our staff, and I'm really proud for our kids. So we're handing out the picture papers. Thank you very much.
That is really neat, being able to look down inside of it and seeing that progress. And we'll look forward to hearing from you again at our July board meeting, or July recess board meeting, and the first fall. We appreciate you and your team, all of y'all's hard work, and that concludes my superintendent.
Does anyone have attorney's reports? Consent agenda. Your recommendation?
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the consent agenda.
I have a recommendation to approve the consent agenda. Do I have this in a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, the ayes have it, the motion passed. New business. FY 2018 to 2019 budget approval. Ms. Rhodes.
At our last meeting, we had the budget hearing and presented all the wonderful things that would be included in the budget for next year. There's been no public comment and there's been no change since then, so I respectfully request that we approve our awesome budget for
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the budget for the 2018-19 school year.
I have a recommendation to approve the budget for 2018-2019 school year. Do I have a motion?
Make that motion.
Do I have a second? Second. Any questions or comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, the ayes have it, the motion passed. Bids, desktop computers, Mr. Williams.
Yes, ma'am. On June 14th, we opened bids for purchase of desktop computer. Had two vendors to submit bids. It's my recommendation to accept the lowest and best bid from Ace Computers for $478 per unit.
Your recommendation, sir.
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve and accept the lowest and best bid for desktop computers from Ace Computers.
I have a recommendation to approve the lowest and best bid from Ace Computers. I need this in a motion.
Make that motion.
Do I have a second? Any questions or comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, the ayes have it, the motion passed. Bids, HVAC replacement, Olive Branch High School, Pleasant Hill Elementary, Shadow Oaks Elementary, Mr. Williams.
This man, bids were opened on June the 15th for the replacement of the HVAC units at the previously mentioned schools. We had two vendors to submit bids. It's my recommendation to accept the lowest and best bid from Nance Mechanical for $69,468.
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the lowest and best bid from Nance Mechanical for the HVAC replacements to Olive Branch High School, Pleasant Hill Elementary School, and Shadow Oaks Elementary School.
I have a recommendation to approve the lowest and best bids from Nance Mechanical for HVAC for Olive Branch High School, Pleasant Hill Elementary, Shadow Oaks Elementary. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, the ayes have it, the motion passed. Bids for interactive projectors, Mr. Williams.
Yes, ma'am. We opened bids for the interactive projectors on June the 15th. The lowest bid was submitted by CDWG. It's my recommendation to accept the lowest and best bid from CDWG.
Recommendation.
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the lowest and best bid from CDWG for interactive projectors.
I have a recommendation to approve the lowest and best bid from CDWG. Do I have this in a motion?
Make a motion, we accept the bid from CDWG.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, the ayes have it, the motion passed. Bids for net books, Mr. Williams.
Yes, ma'am. We opened bids for net books on June the 15th. The low bid was submitted, well, we had three vendors to submit bids, and the low bid was from Chrome Pilot for $436 per unit.
Any recommendations?
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the lowest and best bid from Pilot for netbook purchases.
I have a recommendation to approve the lowest and best bid from Chrome Pilot for netbook purchase. Do I have this as a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Are there any questions or comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, the ayes have it, the motion passed. Bids for netbook cards, Mr. Williams.
Yes, ma'am. The bids were open on June 15th for the purchase of netbook cards for the district. Three vendors submitted bids, and it's my recommendation to accept the lowest and best bid from CDWG for $475 per unit.
Madam President, I recommend the board approve the lowest and best bid for netbook cards.
I have a recommendation to approve the lowest and best bid from CDWG for netbook cards. Do I have this in a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, the ayes have it, the motion passed. Bids, soccer field lighting relocation, Mr. Williams.
Yes, ma'am. Bids were open on June 8th for the soccer field lighting relocation from Horn Lake Intermediate to Olive Branch Middle School. We have one vendor submit a bid, so it's my recommendation to accept the lowest and best bid from Whitfield Electric Company.
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the lowest and best bid from Whitfield Electric for the soccer field sports lights relocation from Horn Lake Intermediate School to Olive Branch Middle School.
I have a recommendation to approve the soccer field lighting relocation from Horn Lake Intermediate to Olive Branch Middle to the lowest and best bid from Whitfield Electric Company. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Seeing none, the ayes have it, the motion passed. Emergency purchase, EK Automation from Lewisburg High School, Mr. Williams.
Yes, ma'am. In your package, you'll see a letter from Mr. White expressing the need to make an emergency purchase from EK Automations. Essentially, the talent network manager at the school is down, and so we can't control the heat or air. And so if we bid it out, there's a fear that we won't have it done by the time the school starts. So he's asking that we make an emergency purchase so we can move forward with replacing all the kids in the next school.
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the emergency purchase with EK Automation.
I have a recommendation to approve the emergency purchase to EK Automation to replace the entire talent network manager. Do I have this in motion?
I make a motion to approve this.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Are there any questions or comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, the ayes have it, the motion passed. Permission to add picnic tables to Desoto Central Elementary, Mr. Williams.
Yes, ma'am. At the last board meeting, I think you approved for them to have the shaded area in the playground, and now the PTO wants to provide picnic tables that will be installed in ground. And so once they are installed and put in, then they'll be donated to the district.
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the addition of picnic tables at the Desoto Central Elementary School.
I have a recommendation to approve addition of picnic tables at Desoto Central Elementary. Do I have this in a motion? So moved. A second? Any questions or comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, the ayes have it, the motion passed. Revised board policy, GAF, staff grievances and complaints, Ms. Williams.
Yes, ma'am. The Human Resources Department has revised the process for filing a staff grievance or complaint. They've tried to streamline it and move it from where employees are required to write statements versus they will now fill out a specific form.
And they've increased some of the deadlines from 10 days to 15 days for filing those forms. And we are requesting your approval of this revision.
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the revised board policy GAF for staff grievances and complaints.
I have a recommendation to approve the revised board policy GAF, staff grievances and complaints. Do I have this as a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, the ayes have it, the motion is passed. Personnel, Mr. Williams.
Yes, ma'am. Pages 1 through 6 of your packet are personnel recommendations. Pages 7 through 9 are personnel changes. On page 10 is a memo from Melissa Green requesting training hours for the new NSIS coordinator for Lake Forest Middle School. Page 11 is a memo from Mr. Alexander requesting compensation for Mr. Avery Treadway, who worked in error on June the 7th and June the 8th. Page 12 is a memo from Emily Nelson requesting compensation for training and psychological services provided on June the 6th. Page 13 is a memo from Mr. Alexander requesting salary correction for the guidance counselor at South Haven High School. Page 14 is a memo from Mr. Van Alexander on substitute rate of pay for the upcoming school year. Page 15 is a memo from Mr. Alexander requesting approval for the Medshare supplement for the upcoming school year. Page 16 is a memo from Mr. Alexander requesting that we approve the 2018-19 use of facilities employment payment scale. Page 17 is a memo from Mr. Alexander requesting approval for the junior ROTC salaries for the 18-19 school year. Page 18 is a memo from Lori Davis requesting additional pay for an employee to translate SPED assessments and IEPs. Page 19 is a memo from Lori Davis requesting approval for payment for speech and language assessment services rendered on June 6, 2018. Page 20 is a memo from Lori Davis requesting payment for ideology services provided during the extended school year. Page 21 is a memo from Shannon Hall requesting payment for therapeutic behavior interventionists who work the ESY program. Page 22 is a memo from Shannon Hall requesting to add an additional unit to the ESY program. Page 23 is a request for additional pay from Ms. Hassman for a personal care assistant at Horn Lake Intermediate School for the ESY program. Page 24 is a request of additional pay from Florence Hill for a part-time tutor at the Palmer Home. Page 25 is a request for additional pay from Emily Nelson for a psychometrist to work on the summer testing for the gifted program. Page 26 is a request for additional pay from Mr. Ryan Kirkendall. He's asking for all high school test coordinators to work up to 40 additional hours at their normal rate of pay. Page 27 is a request for additional pay from Mr. Kirkendall that all high school counselors be able to work up to 10 additional days during the summer. Page 28 is a request for additional pay from Mr. Thomas Spencer so that Mr. Everett can work on the standards and develop lesson plans and assessments to be used to SPED students throughout the district. Page 29 is a request for additional pay from Mr. Tungett so that Mr. Everett can work during the summer on lesson plans units and developing supplemental materials for the ELA program. Page 30, 32 changes to the academic coach job description as recommended by the pay scale committee. Page 33 and 35 are changes to the academic specialist job description, which were recommendations by the pay scale committee. Page 36 and 37 are an updated data customer support clerk job description. And page 38 and 39 are changes to the assistant supervisor behavior services job description. That concludes the personnel report. Madam President, I recommend the personnel be approved as presented.
I have a recommendation that to approve personnel as read. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the personnel.
Do I have a second? Do I have any questions or comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Seeing none, the ayes have it, the motion passed. have, Mr. Culver. Where are you?
Yes, ma'am.
You have some residency appeals for us today?
Yes, ma'am.
Are the people, are the,
Executive session.
are the parents here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Who are they? I don't have their names here. Okay, raise your hand, okay? We can't hear you in this board room, we have to go into executive session. So we will, let you know individually when to come in there and present your appeal. I need a consideration motion to go into executive session for the residency appeal.
I make that motion to consider going into executive session for the five residency appeals.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. At this time, we'll go into executive session, and Mr. Chase will come out and let you know if we're going to stay in executive session or not.